So this is going to be an exercise to help you with engaging your psoas as well as your transverse abdominis and just your core musculature in general. So what we're going to do, we're going to be laying here. Knees are going to be bent, feeling our toes pretty equally underneath of us, trying to keep our hips centered. From here, I'm going to lift my arms up, making sure that I don't let my shoulders lift and I don't raise my shoulders. So keeping my shoulders flat on the ground, raising my arms up, bending my elbows and placing them behind me on the wall. Now I want to make sure I'm not too far away, so I'm not reaching up out of my shoulders, and I also want to make sure that I'm not too close to where I can't press at all. So we want to think about probably a nice 45-degree, maybe even a little bit more than that for where the elbow bend is. So I'm in this position, I have my hands placed, I'm making sure my elbows don't splay out, I'm keeping them underneath myself, and I'm just going to settle myself onto the wall so that I can give a little bit of a push into the wall. So if you see, as I push into the wall, I move down just the tiniest little bit. From here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure my low back isn't arched at all. So I'm going to feel my low back flatten onto the floor, keep that push, and then I'm going to slowly lift one leg up with control, driving into that opposite arm. So if I'm lifting the right leg, I'm driving into the left arm just a little bit more. And you can play around with that as well. If you want to drive into the right, it's just going to give a little bit of a different engagement. So play around with which arm you are driving into. Once I get to this lifted position, then I'm going to slowly lower back down with control, and I'm going to switch sides. Lifting up, finding that connection, driving into that opposite hand, and coming back down. Now, once I start to feel comfortable with this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift one leg up, and then I'm going to take the opposite arm, and I'm going to bring it towards the ceiling. This is going to challenge this position a little bit more, and it's going to challenge your core musculature. So, I'm in that locked position. I'm going to lift my leg up, drive into that hand, and then from there, I'm going to bring that hand towards the ceiling and bring it back. Dropping down, same thing on the other side. Lifting up, lifting the arm, coming back. If you want to challenge this position more, you can do one of two different things. The first thing is you can extend your leg more. So as you start to feel more comfortable with this, you can start to extend the legs a little bit further, lifting up through, same exact process, coming back down. The other thing that you can do is you can start to play around with your arm position more. So taking your arm out to the side, for instance, is going to challenge more than bringing it directly overhead. So if I want to do that, I can come back to my original lever. We don't initially want to do both at the same time. We don't want to make the top harder and the bottom harder. So pick and choose. I'm going to lift my leg up, and then from here, I can bring that opposite arm to the ceiling, and I can slowly let it drop out to the side. That's going to really challenge this line from my shoulder all the way to my hip. Bring it back to connect it, and then from there, come back onto the wall, slowly lower down with control. So for this exercise, we want to think about trying to do 3 sets of 10 roughly, 8 to 10, back and forth. So the idea is that you would be doing 4 or 5 on each leg for 3 sets.